Well, today marks a very grim day in America. 22 years ago today, the deadliest terror attack ever on U.S. soil. Of course, we're talking about September 11th.
A remembrance ceremony was held today at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center to not only remember those who lost their lives on 9/11, but also to remember those who have died in the line of duty over the last year. Bells rang at the exact time each plane hit the towers. There were also flyovers performed by the 169th Fighter Wing at McEntire and helicopters that were flying over from the Richland County Sheriff's Department and SLED. Governor Henry McMaster, along with many other state and local leaders, attended and spoke about the importance of 9/11.
Our soldiers and our first responders, they protect us. And if we don't provide that same kind of acceptance and support, then we're going to have a very fractured world.
The ceremony also recognized first responders who have died in the state, including Columbia police officer Tyrell Owens, Irmo firefighter James Muller, and Newberry officer Lieutenant Michael Wood.
Well, earlier today, there was an absolutely beautiful ceremony at Fort Jackson National Cemetery to not only honor those who we lost on 9/11, but also honor all of the men and women who decided to enlist in the military because of the 9/11 terror attacks.
We have more in this report.
Welcome to Fort Jackson as we pay respect to the fallen men and women who lost their lives on that tragic day, 11 September 2001.
I think it's important that we not forget. We remember lest we forget. It's important that that day of infamy, we never forget. Most can think about where they were on that fateful day.
Brigadier General Kelly and Command Sergeant Major Oakes will lay the first wreath in honor of every American who made the ultimate sacrifice on 9/11 and the multiple conflicts of the past 20 years.
The events of 9/11 changed all of our lives, and I was already in the service for a couple of years when that happened. But we went from being a peacetime army to being an army at war virtually overnight.
I was in Kosovo. I was a company commander trying to make sense of it all. It's interesting because I was abroad, and so I came back to a very different United States. Security at the airport was very different, and so I came back to a very different society, and it was very noticeable.
There's certainly a common bond between the service that those first responders have and then what we do in the military. We're all cut from the same cloth.